stay in the present. Because I can't. I don't think, I can't stop living in the past and I can't stop living in the future, right? Now that's a lot. I probably should say hello first and how are you, but small talk, okay? Like, this is, what do you want? Do you know? Do you know what you want? That's more important than anything. If I could go back to, you see, there I go, right away. If I could go back, I can't fucking stop thinking like that. Is it because of social media? Is it because of the state of the world? Like you just, you think, first of all, nostalgia's everywhere on the fucking internet, reminding you constantly of like, oh yeah, that time in your life when shit was simple for some of us, maybe complicated for others, but for the most part, fucking easier. You know what I mean? You didn't live like this. You didn't live like you're living right now, watching me on a phone probably. And thank you for doing so. That's the thing about this whole internet existence. We all know it is fucked, but we're all so appreciative of every follower and subscriber. You know what I mean? And I know in some cases it helps you get by. I know in some cases it can inspire you. It can showcase something you may have not been able to have access to if you didn't have the internet. I get that, but it also makes me think about the past constantly. And then makes me freak out about the future. So past, future, right? Or future, past, whatever fucking direction you want to look. How does your OCD dictate, where you look when you say certain things? And if those areas that you look at become the areas you always have to look at when you speak of these certain topics. Anyway, that's just me. But motherfucker, the past, the nostalgia online, I don't know if it's helpful. You know what I mean? I think nostalgia is supposed to exist here only, in memory. Seeing it, pictures and videos and like little, not memes, but whatever, like little mashups where hey, remember this? If you were a kid from the 90s, you remembered all these things. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that will fuck my day up more than it will just help me remember. And I like the 90s. I was young. I was really fucking young. I was a teenager, But fuck, man. And then the future, it makes you think like, are we all fucked? Are we all insane? How's it going to end? Is it going to end? When's it going to end? Why is it going to end? How is it going to end? Fuck. Or is this, the thing you constantly hear? The world's always been fucked. The world's always been insane. The world's always been a cruel, terrible place where, oh God, you better watch out. It's always been like that. Look, you better keep better have eyes in the back of your head, which also, people say you better have eyes in the back of your head. They also don't point out if you had eyes in the back of the head, you'd probably have to shave the hair surrounding those eyes. Otherwise, they'd be fucking pointless eyes and you just see hairy shit. Also, like which eyes, you know what I mean? Like you have two in the front, and that gives you this, what you see. But then if you had two in the back, would you just constantly be seeing like a 360? Because then that would just be confusing, right? Eyes in the back of the head would probably be worse than not eyes in the back of the head. We're better off without that. Anyway, because then also you'd be, speaking of living in the past, you'd always be looking behind you, looking at what you're walking away from, looking at what you're leaving behind. I don't think that's any fucking healthier. But I don't know that the world's always been this fucking crazy. Like I like to say this out loud all the time. I do feel like climate change is real because I physically feel it, right? I do remember a time when it didn't get this insanely hot every summer. I do remember a time when flooding and tornadoes in major cities and fucking dozens upon dozens of maybe more brush fires were burning everywhere, turning the fucking sky into a basic like a hot box of a Honda Civic. I do remember a time when the world didn't seem from a like weather with the fucking natural state of things. It didn't seem like a constant bipolar fucking lunatic situation where at any given moment we could like a fucking tornado, blizzard, hurricane, earthquake, lightning storm, fucking tsunami could all happen at once. And it wouldn't even make the news first. It would be like the third thing you'd read about, And like I do remember a time when it seemed like that wasn't the case. But also, I do agree with science and evidence. So at the same time, if I heard me say that, I would need to see proof of that before I believed it. Thus, the conundrum. I don't, because it's a double-edged thing. Like, you see all this shit on the internet, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, and all of it about how insanely dangerous New York City is. I have friends, people I know as intelligent adults, telling me how fucking terrifying New York's become. But I live in New York, right? I'm out pretty late every single night of my life doing stand-up, which I love doing. Sometimes I'm traveling alone back to my apartment in Brooklyn. I live in a fucking great neighborhood of Brooklyn, but some people might look at my neighborhood and think it's fucking terrifying, right? But I've never felt in danger. And I've walked, we got some fucking shady parts of this part of my neighborhood. I don't feel danger. I don't feel threatened. I get it. I'm also not a woman. I get it. I'm also an overweight, fucking burly looking son of a bitch with resting psycho face, right? So I get it. It's different for me. However, I kind of think it's the same thing as people who live in some small town who only watch Fox News, who only read, whatever the Fox News affiliate is in journalism, written journalism, who think that in the cities we're just burning and sacrificing children and having homosexual fucking conversion. Come on here. What are you, just a normal straight dude? No, get over here, become gay, transgender, and we're going to, in fact, fuck that. We're going to give you only got one gender, you're about to get 37 more. Fuck that, motherfucker. That's what we do up here. We're just trying to convert everyone into gay, 38 gendered humans. No one's doing that. But I think that it also swings the other way where, media is telling you that New York is a fucking danger zone right now, and it's probably relegated to certain areas, right? But is that the point of it all? To just keep us all so fucking terrified that nobody does anything, right? That we just let certain things happen, that we just look the other way because that's the one thing I think everyone can agree upon. I don't ever remember there being this many rich people or this many poor people. But then again, what did I know? You know what I mean? But like sometimes I think if they're the 1%, they're just all pooling in their money, like the whole fucking Elon, and this is probably not an original thought, but it's original to me right now, is that Elon Musk going to space with all these billionaires, it's not just a joyride for them. They're actually testing out their escape. They're actually busy building their escape. They know society is fucked. They know the planet is overpopulated. They know we're going to run out of resources soon. They know war, famine, it's all imminent. Another fucking, and this time a deadlier fucking pandemic. They know it's all coming. They know it's all on its way. So they're trying to get the fuck out of here within the next decade or sooner. And we're just all sitting here being like, oh, what a bunch of dicks going into space. You know how many poor people you could feed with that? And they're going, yeah, but what would it matter? We could feed every fucking poor person on the planet for the next year, but it doesn't matter because then that means you'll just all have your strength up for when the shit really goes down. Then you can really tear each other apart. So maybe they're just trying to get into space and orbit us and just watch. You know what I mean? The ultimate fucking like pay-per-view event. Every billionaire, you get to go to space and watch the rest of the fucking people of Earth devour each other alive. And it's only cost you $18 billion a piece. Boy, is it going to be entertaining. And then the after party on, whatever planet they've discovered that they haven't told us about yet. The one that resembles another Earth for them to go and set up shop in and destroy eventually themselves. I kind of hope, like this whole thing about aliens, I kind of hope aliens were the ones that put us here. I hope we were an experiment. They took us from one planet we'd already destroyed, brought us here to see how fast we could destroy this one, and are now about to come back and be like, hey, okay, we see the good and the bad in the whole fucking thing here. So here's a fucking pop quiz. If you pass it, you get on this fucking ship and we take you to another planet and see if this thing can't work itself out and eventually destruction and self-mutilation is not part of the condition anymore. And if you fail the test, sorry, you're just going to stay here and figure it out. This idea is heaven and hell, right? Only it's not religion. It's not based on how you think about gay or straight. It's based on good person versus bad person, all right? And a lot of you religious fucks are going to end up staying here in what you would have called by your random religion hell. And we're going to take everybody else to heaven, which is just another planet that hasn't been destroyed by you fucks yet. I mean, I think about this fucking shit all the time. And then sometimes I got to go on stage and audiences are just hammered and they want me to ask them where they're from. They want, because I care, right? Yeah, let's see how long you've been fucking dating. That's what I feel like talking about. Nope. But then sometimes you get on there and you just say what you want to say and they're with you. And that's the only time I'm in the present. That's the only time I feel like I'm in the present is when I'm on fucking stage. The rest of the time, it's just a ping pong match between the past and the future, the past and the future and the past and the past and the future. See, there's the OCD thing again. Future's over here, past's over here, but that's only because I'm imagining you looking at me like a fucking graph. It's already September. Fuck. All right. We got this. We're all right. It's all in our mind. It's all. Well, if you can imagine it, it can be. And I imagine we can all find a fucking way to keep going.